6:30, and you are live.
You're listening to the new WCEG Network on WCEGTalkRadio.com. Click the live stream tab or watch us live on your smart TV, YouTube under WCEG Network. I'm Wardell Richardson, your show host for the next hour, right here on WCEG The Hollywood of the South, where we speak life into the community. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and on Instagram at WCEG underscore talk underscore radio. That's WCEG underscore talk underscore radio. And at WCEG Network. That's WCEG Network. Last but not least, the topics and opinion are those of the show hosts and guests and not those of WCEG Network. Thank you for your continued support. Once again, welcome back to the new year. Happy New Year, everybody. I hope the holidays was great. I am Wardell Richardson, your show host here for the next hour on WCEG Hollywood of the South. I'm so happy to be back. I had a great vacation. It was awesome. I'm going to talk about all the crazy stuff that happened real quick over the holidays, especially with our, president. But I want to, before I get into my show host here today, I have an incredible, talented show host here today. I can't wait to bring her on. Before I get to her, I just want to say to everyone, please, once again, wear your mask. I say this all the time on the show. Just wear your mask. If you're going somewhere and you don't want to wear your mask, just don't go there. If they're requiring you to wear your mask, just don't go. You know what I'm saying? It just don't make any sense. I see stuff on social media all the time, people that's against wearing masks and they're going into public places where they're requiring you to wear a mask and it's a whole hoopla and stuff. I think some people just trying to go viral or something. I don't know, but it's just getting crazy out here. I don't want to even get into what happened at the Capitol. This by far is the worst of times for our country, by far. And every day I sit here and I look at the news and I'm thinking to myself, what do people in the other countries think of us right now? We're supposed to be the most powerful country on the planet, and we are having the worst of times going on right now because of one man. One man who's controlling it all. And we know who that person is. If you saw what happened at the Capitol, you know who started that whole thing. And now the FBI is telling all the people in every state, all the capitals, to be aware of why am I not saying this right? Inauguration, the inauguration of when that happens, they're giving a warning to all the states to be aware, to be on guard at the Capitol. I think this is just crazy. This is just absolutely crazy. This is a perfect sign of someone who's in power and has an issue with losing that power. You know what I'm saying? This is the perfect example of that. And I'm so embarrassed for the country right now. I'm embarrassed for the stance of the people and what's been going on in the media and how it's so different. I can tell you right now, if it was 300 black people at that Capitol that day, it would have been a slaughter. Clear slaughter. That's what would have happened. 300 black people died right here on the steps of the Capitol today. When Black Lives Matter went down to march in front of the Capitol, they had the entire military standing in line across the steps waiting. But when something like this happens, they have a quarter of security on the property. There's supposed to be 2,000 security people on the property of the Capitol, and only 500 was there that day. It was a complete setup. And it's sad, and I just hate what happened. I think it is the worst of times right now with our government, and it's just embarrassing to watch. It's embarrassing to look at. To me, it is. So I just had to say that. I want to get that off my chest because I've been waiting to say that. And now that that's off my chest, let's get back to some other things. once again, if you haven't yet, and you sitting home and and you just don't have nothing to do, go on Amazon Prime, pull up my name, and check out some of the movies I have on there. Greed, Flesh, The 30-Day Rule, Addiction by Subtraction, all are on Amazon Prime right now. I'm starring in them, and in 3 other projects I produced them. So make sure you go and check them out, and hit me up in my inbox. Let me know what you think about it. You know what I'm saying? Say, hey, Wardell, I like this. I ain't like this one too much. You know, I take criticism very well. I want to know. I want to know what you think. You know what I'm saying? And that's just how I move. So on that note, let's move on over to my guest that I have here today. So, you know, I love networking with people. You know what I mean? I love networking with people. I do a lot of networking on Instagram, Facebook, and things like that. And I remember sending someone a message, and that morning I got a message back. And that message led into a phone call, and we was on the phone, chopping it up, talking about a whole bunch of different things. So, and I'm just like, wow, you know, I need to bring you on the show. I have to bring you on my show because you have a lot of information, a lot of great things going on. And she's just a cool, funny person. You know what I'm saying? And I just had a great conversation with her. So I want to introduce to you. Well, before I say her name, I just want to say this. She she has the One Love, One House production, which includes Undercover detective TV drama series, One Love, One House TV, which is a music show with DJs, performers, medical minute, business briefs, and community activists. She has the One Love, One Runway TV series, a show that highlights models, their talents, and journeys. And the list goes on and on on One Love, One House TV, which is founded on the African principles. If I eat, we all eat. I love that. I love that. If I introduce to you April Disco Goddess, what's going on?
Hey, Wardell. Hey, thank you for inviting me. I want to be safe. You said we got to be safe, honey. I'm going to listen to you.
Man. We do. We got to be safe out here in these streets. It's crazy out here. You know?
Yes.
It's crazy out here. And I didn't even mention the fact that I got COVID. I had COVID.
Oh my God, what happened?
Before Christmas. You know what's funny is I didn't even know I had it. I went out of the country, came back in town, and I always just get a check just for the heck of it. Yeah. And I was positive. You know, all I had was like a little cough, and that's it. But I had to call my job, tell them I had it, send them the proof, and they quarantined me for 14 days. So I literally didn't feel bad. I didn't have a loss of taste, loss of smell. I didn't have fever. I just had a little cough. And I think that was probably one day where the cough went kind of crazy. But other than that, that was it. And
Thank God.
I say that all the time. I say, thank God that it will work, because I've seen people in hospitals, people die from it, whole lot of different things. So I'm just thankful that that's the only thing that happened to me. And I, you know, I work out a lot, I take vitamins, I do all kind of stuff. So I think my body was fighting that battle for me, you know. So I'm real happy. Yeah, I'm real happy about that. Now, enough about me. You know, you have a lot going on here. Before we get into all that stuff, let's get a little bit of background about you, like where you grew up from, how, and if you're not from here, how did you make it all the way here to Atlanta?
Okay, so I'm from Chicago.
All right. Mm-hmm.
I love the city. I don't love the politics. Okay. And I don't love the way the police treat us. I mean, us as in Black people. And
I heard it was bad in Chicago.
It's really, really awful. Yeah. And I realized when I started to take this career seriously, I went back to school.
Right.
You know, being a TV producer, I wanted to learn more about communications. Okay. So I went back to school, and I found out that the Great Migration in Chicago is still going on. when they migrated from the South and came north, they only allowed Black people to live in a certain part of Chicago, which is the South Side and the West Side. They didn't allow Black people to live on the North Side or downtown. And that's where the segregation started. And it's still to this day. Police don't respond as quickly or at all to the South and West Side as they do on the North.
Oh, wow. So is it safe to say it's more white people up on the North Side?
Yes.
And the East Side than it is? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
And
So I've heard that. I've heard people in Chicago say, "I'm on the North Side. You know, I'm on the good side." That's what they say.
On the good side, okay.
Right.
I can see that, but I just became tired. I used to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and go to the Board of Education, Chicago Board of Education. In order to speak to the board, you have to sign in at 6 a.m., which is the setup. So I got tired of doing all that fighting for rights, and I got tired of the snow and weather. So I said, I want to go to another major city. What's closest to Chicago that's popping? Atlanta.
Okay. Atlanta be popping, man, for real. I think through this whole epidemic, when stuff started opening, Atlanta bust the scene wide open. And everybody for New Year's came straight down to Atlanta and raised the COVID.
Oh, God. I stayed in the house.
It got crazy down here. Crazy.
I stayed in the house. I enjoyed New Year's Eve. Let me show you. I enjoyed it like this. In my house, safe, away from everyone.
Right.
With my cup.
Right.
I seen pictures and videos of everybody socializing and everything in Atlanta.
Right.
I just don't think it's safe. You know, you have to make your own decisions.
You're right. And I stayed inside as well. I saw all the traffic and stuff that was on the news. They were talking about all the people that came down here. I said, I'm not going down there. No way. No way.
No,
all right. So what got you down to Atlanta?
I was having panic attacks. Well, I have 3 daughters, and every time they go outside, I was having panic attacks. You know, they're shooting so much. They're shooting randomly on the expressway. You're driving on the expressway to this day. They are still shooting people driving on the expressway.
What?
For what reason? Randomly. So I was like, I was having panic attacks. I was telling my children, you know, when you come out of a building, text me. When you go in a building, text me. And they would forget, and I would freak out. So I said, you know, I gotta go. This not it.
Wow, that's crazy. And so so at what moment? I mean, how old were you? You say you had girls, right?
Yes.
How old were your kids, and what was the final line? What was the final thing that said, okay, I'm out of here?
My daughter friend got shot, and she was standing right next to him.
What?
Yes, he got shot and killed, and she was in high school. They were 15 years old, but it was a retaliation. And I would always tell my children, don't stand next to anybody outside. If you want to visit somebody, go in their house.
Right.
Don't sit in a car. Don't sit on a porch. I mean, that's just a terrible way to live.
It is.
Don't go to the park. So I was like, I got to get out of here. And I wanted to go to a major city to continue my TV production.
All right.
So
you had started up TV production before you got here?
Yeah, 2012.
Okay. And what caused you to start the TV production? Why did you decide to go into TV?
Well, when I get angry about something, I get creative. And when I first got on Facebook, I seen all these DJs, and they were mixing, and the blends were amazing. And I was like, why I don't see you all in the club? They're in Chicago. Why I don't see you? So they would inbox me and say, hey, Disco, let me tell you, sometimes I can't open up for somebody because they sabotage my equipment. They pull out cords and they unplug me. So people dancing think it's you. Think it's the DJ that's making these mistakes. We don't know. We out here dancing. We don't know who's behind the scenes unplugging your stuff and messing with your cords. So I said, I gotta create something to bring exposure to this talent for all these DJs. And I remember the local station, the public access station, I could go and get classes, take classes and get certified. And that's what I did. I started to create my own show once I got certified to highlight these amazing DJs. And then other people want to get on the show, like singers and dancers and actors. So I was like, maybe I got something.
Right. Yeah. And that's usually how it works. You try something, and if it takes off, it's like, okay, you got to hit the ground running now, because now they're looking at you like you that person that can get them where they need to be.
Yes, and I was just so glad that it worked out well for the DJs. And the only bad thing is sometimes when you start doing something different, your friends who you thought were your friends, they leave you alone.
I speak this all the time. You know the saying is lonely at the top. Well, when you start climbing, I tell people all the time, when you start getting better and better and better in yourself, and things start going really well, you're gonna see your friends slowly just dropping off. It always happens.
I can't understand that. Like, I'm the type of person, I'm your cheerleader. No matter what you do, and you make an accomplishment, I'm like, yeah, let's go celebrate. Yeah, let's, you got a 15-cent raise at work. You remember back in the day, you used to get a quarter or 15, 20-cent raise. You're like, yes. I'm like, let's go party. Yeah. I expected them to do that for me when my show started getting popular. Crickets. I didn't hear anybody.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, people want you to stay down there where they at. They don't want to see you go get better than them. They like when you down there. They like when you on their level. They can relate to you on their level. But when you start climbing, they can't relate to you no more. And it's a sad situation, because I'm the type of dude, when I see somebody doing something great, I'm like, yo, how do let's work together. Let's do something. I'm always like, people see, I seen a quote on social media when 2021 came in, and people were saying, leave, it's 2021. You gotta leave people, behind or back in the past and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, sure, I'm trying to find somebody I can work with. Like, I'm trying to find somebody to network with. I'm on a whole different page.
Right.
But that's how some people are. It's sad. It's really sad.
I was a little heartbroken at first, because the way it happened to me was they wouldn't answer their phone. It was like 4 of us that used to go out, and they wouldn't answer their phones. They would be real distant. And then on social media, I would see them take pictures of them going out, and I was like, well, what about me? Why they didn't invite me to come out? I'm like, okay, well, I had to pray on it. And then other people were coming to me to get on the show, and I just devoted all my time to the show, and I was able to help people with their careers, and that's more important to me than hanging out.
They just totally X you out. That's I hate, man. Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. When they could have been your cheerleader, they could have been a part of your team or whatever.
Yes. I made friends with strangers that I met off of Facebook rather than bring my old friends in with me. And it took me, I'm so honest, Wardell, it took me 3 years of like mourning a relationship to lose them. And it was like a clique of us, like 5 of us, and only one person remained my friend, which is a man. And I'm like, women got to stop trying to beat each other down.
Oh, man.
We do that too often.
Yes.
We have to be more supportive.
Right. So you get through that, and you move down to Atlanta. Now, now you have all these different things going on. Now, what was when you got to Atlanta? What was the first thing you did when you got down here to get set up and get started with your production?
I made a mistake. I believe that the DJs, because I was still about DJs, I believe that the DJs who were from Chicago, who moved to Atlanta, they like, Disco Goddess, you get to Atlanta, just call me. I got you, boo. I got you. You coming down here for real? Yeah, yeah. You can film where I'm spinning at. I got you. And then I'm like, okay, I'm here. Hello?
Oh,
Hello?
wow. Really?
You gonna call me back? Never Rary?
Wow.
I'm like, okay, this is a trip. All right. So I had to just continue going with Undercover Detective, which was great because
you said when you got down here you were still on the DJ thing. When did the Undercover Detective come into play?
it started in Chicago.
Okay.
I was thinking about the storyline in 2015, the beginning of 2016. It took me about a year because I didn't want to do what everybody else was doing. You know, guns, drugs, prostitutes, or zombies. I didn't want to do those things. So I was still developing the story when I got here. And when I see I didn't have any faithful DJs here, I started to finalize Undercover Detective, and I was meeting some really good actresses.
Right.
And in 2016, right? And 2021, I still have one of the actresses in my cast today. Her name is Kimberly Blue. I love you, Kimberly Blue.
And I'm glad you said you met some wonderful actresses and actors down here in Atlanta, because there are some incredible actors and actresses in Atlanta. And one of the biggest fights we have right now is when LA bring all their people over here. When they filming over here, they bring all their people over here to film and forget about the Atlanta people that's here. So
they don't have to do that.
They don't
it's
have
right
to.
Here. Talent is right here.
Absolutely. It's some incredible talent here in Atlanta, and if you doing everything right, they will come. They ready to work. Some of the good ones. Now there's some out there. That's y'all know who y'all are. Y'all a little suspect, but there's some out there that got it together and they ready to work. And I know a lot of them, and those people are doing their thing right now. So kudos to them. But go ahead.
Yes.
So let people know a little bit about what Undercover Detective is about.
Okay, so this storyline is really different than most. And all I'm able to say is it hasn't been explored before. The premise of the story. And the only way to really know what it's about is to watch episode 7. And I'm only on episode 4. So episode 7.
So basically you baiting people and telling them they gotta go and watch everything of the 7 because it's
don't make it sound so bad, Wardell. Don't make it sound so bad.
Hey,
but yes.
It sounds bad to me because I want to know. I want to know.
I'll just tell you, it's not about gangs and drugs and all that. Every law enforcement officer and every criminal, I explore their life, their whole like 3-dimensional life. Okay. And I deal a lot with social issues, mental health, blended families, the man having so many children by so many different women, women being paranoid about male-female relationships, everything that we go through as people is explored on Undercover Detective. So the title kind of fools you. You think it's just about, a criminal case. Right. It's not just about that.
Okay.
It's about
And
y'all.
it's about us, huh?
Yes. All y'all and
So,
all y'all many different problems and situations.
wait a minute now. This sounds like you're man hating right now.
Oh no. I'm mansplaining.
You are
I'm explaining why
mansplaining.
men do what they do.
Oh man, I gotta see this. I see now. That what you just said gonna make people want to go see it because you
You
trying
know,
to
I
explain why
have
men
some,
do what they do.
yeah, I have some single undercover detectives that are a little women crazy. And you
Hmm.
know, sometimes you're not supposed to be on the job and do personal stuff. But when a woman is so fast, guys just lose their man, they don't think right. So I had to show that too.
Well, women do the same thing. I'm just saying. I know some women who do the same thing. I'm just saying.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh. Now, you also have One Love, One Runway. So what was it that got you into doing the runway show?
Wardell, when I get mad, I get creative, right?
Hmm.
So when I got to Atlanta, I see all these fashion shows. It's like every weekend is a fashion show. And
That is
so,
so funny you said that. It is. You true. You right. You right about that.
and I'm thinking about what happens at a fashion show. Are people actually purchasing these designs? Because I thought that was the reason to have a fashion
Right.
show, to show
Right.
people what you created and have them buy it. I
Right.
talked to one model. She's still at it. She's 75 years old. She's walking the runway. She's doing her thing. She is more agile than I am.
Wow.
75. And she told me, April, they'll have models paying to walk down the runway. They have models in a dressing room. They don't give them water. They don't give them snacks. And they really take advantage of the model.
Right.
And I said, well, this is ridiculous. I'm like, well, why would they think that anybody would want to participate in something like this if you're not treated well? If you're not an established model, why are you paying? I can see if you need the exposure, but if you're already established, why are you paying? So I'm like, okay, so I'm going to do something that's for models and designers on a
Okay.
bigger scale, because you can't put 3 million people in a venue. But I can
Right.
put 3 million people on TV. So I said I will start doing a show to promote models and designers. Because I didn't know they was going
Gotcha.
through this.
Yeah, they go through a lot of stuff. I used to do all that way back in my 20s. Well, way back.
You mean like
So
5 years ago?
about 5 years ago. About 5 years ago. What's funny, what's funny is people still try to pull me into. I say, oh no, I'm not in that game no more. It's gone. That game is gone. But what has been your greatest challenge in doing all this? Like because putting together production is not easy. So what has been the hardest thing you've had to deal with trying to do all these productions? Because you got other ones we hadn't even talked about yet.
Right. So what I do is I I film outside and I want to show the city I'm in. And I think that's a little easier than trying to get a studio.
Hmm.
Because all you have to do, I'm blessed to have a great editor, and I film by myself. My editor is
Right.
Felicia Scott. Felicia Scott
Okay.
is my website designer and my editor. So I'm going out here filming everything, and if there's a glitch or something, she fixes it. And my challenge is to get people to invest in themselves
Right.
and not to expect a handout.
Why do
Because
you think people do that? Why do you think people it's hard to get people to invest in themselves? Because this industry is about that, headshots, photo shoots. You
yeah,
have to take pictures. You have to pay for some stuff to get stuff done, and for whatever reason, people feel like they can just fall. It's gonna just fall in their lap or something. So why do you think it's hard to get people to invest in themselves?
They cheat.
Plain and simple.
That's what I think. They cheat. Because I got a TV show. I'm airing on TV, and I will pay to advertise my advertisements.
Right.
You just have to invest in yourself. Yeah. All you got to do is figure out, if I'm not worthy of your payment, find somebody else that's worthy of your payment. You have to pay. I don't care if you're somebody's friend or relative. Stop trying to get a discount. You have to pay. And that way, people will see what you can do. No one can see what you can do. You sitting in the house.
Right.
You have to invest in yourself. Get more equipment, get better equipment. In some form or fashion, we all have to invest in ourselves. When you go to work, if you're not in entertainment, when you go to work, you got to get a car, or you got to get a bus pass.
Absolutely.
You're not sitting at home waiting for your job to pick you up.
Right.
That's not gonna happen.
Right.
So you gotta invest in yourself.
That's funny.
I'm gonna get ready to go to work and sit here. I don't know why they're not here yet.
What about you you have other productions that you are working on. Can you explain, run across those for me real quick?
Okay, God bless me to be on XOD Network. XOD, I'm so proud of them. It's 3 brothers, 3 Black men who own a network.
Okay.
And I professionally stalked one of the station owners on that network.
Wait. I like how you slid that in there. You said you professionally stalked one. I haven't heard that one. I'm not. We're gonna go back to that. Go ahead.
So finally he invited me to send him some of my work.
You're talking work. Go ahead.
Yeah, I sent him clips of Undercover Detective, One Love on Runway, the DJ show for One Love One House. He said that Undercover Detective, that's pretty good. So I'm going to air that. And then later on, I started asking him, well, what about the other productions? And he said, okay, when I get a chance, I'll look at that. Because he had other shows on his station, right?
Right.
Underneath XOD Network. So when he finally looked at the other work, he's like, yeah, that's pretty good. So I started sending him more. And, after he filled out paperwork and I filled out paperwork, I felt comfortable. So I sent him more. He said, you know what, April, I'm going to give you your own channel. I said, what?
Wow.
You
had
give
enough
me a
content
channel?
to do y'all. Yeah, enough content.
I said, oh my God, here's some more stuff. I started giving him more stuff. So I said, oh, I can do fitness motivation TV. And fitness motivation is about working out, nutrition, health. Anybody that's a personal trainer or into herbs and naturopath, they could give me information if they want to, promote themselves with fitness motivation. BET and VH1 don't air music videos anymore. So I said, if I get some quality, what's up with that?
I don't know, but I used to get up in the mornings, get ready for work, put on the music videos, and just be jamming. Yeah, I used to do that every morning before I go to work. Now they just stopped. I'm like, what happened to the music videos? That used to be popping back in the day.
So now you can go to my channel. I air music videos. I have all genres, but they're all good. Nothing nasty or disgusting. No, I don't do that. So I got One Love, One House music videos and comedians who are up and coming. I have One Love, One House comedy show. I have one comedian so far. His name is Stefan Cadell. He's hilarious. He creates his own memes. I cannot say them right now, but If you go to Stefan Cadell, you will see.
You know what? I got on have you heard of Clubhouse, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Clubhouse.
Okay.
Yep.
So on Clubhouse, they have a comedian page because Rodney Perry, who's a good friend of mine, I just interviewed him. He was like right at the end of last year. And he is in that group. And it's a whole slew of up and coming comedians here in Atlanta and everywhere.
Right.
You should definitely get in on that and let them know what you're doing because they open the floor. You know, all you gotta do is raise your hand. They'll bring you up there on the floor. You tell them what you're doing. They're gonna be open to it. I'm sure they will because
Yeah,
that was
it's
one of the
so
things they
much.
talked about. They was talking about the growth of comedians and what they go through and everything, and trying to get on TV and trying to get seen and stuff. That was the biggest thing, the challenge for them. So that I think what you got going on would be great for them.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm gonna look into that. I'm 54, so technology is like so I got one of my actresses actually gave me an invite to Clubhouse. I'm like, what is this? She explained it to me like I'm 5 years old, and I went on there, and I know what you're talking about. I would love to meet some up and coming comedians because sometimes people are so talented they don't know they don't have an avenue for exposure.
Right.
That's
And
where I
it,
come in at.
Yep, and it's very important, because that was the reason why I did this radio show. That was nothing out there that was just for actors and producers and directors. Because
Okay.
with film and TV and theater, there's a whole slew of stuff that people don't even know about. People
Yeah,
think,
it is.
yeah, people think that they just see a good actor on TV and that's all it is to it. But it's a whole slew of things behind the scenes that you have to go through to get just to that point, to get that person, that actor or actress, to be seen in a good light. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? So once I was this show here came to fruition, I was like, this is perfect. Now I have a platform of introducing all the aspects of those of the entertainment industry, such as film, TV. I brought producers in, directors in. I brought people all the way as far as the light guy, the sound guy,
Oh,
all that. Like, because there's so much to it, and people don't understand how much it is to it.
right.
And that was my whole thing, was to get people, to introduce people to this world, because this world is just way different than any other world that's out there.
It
And
is.
yeah, it is, and I say that all the time. Everybody's not made for this, and people who get into this, their significant others are not ready for what they're about to get into.
Oh my God. Can I tell you a story real quick about that,
Tell
Wardell?
me a story. I know you got one.
Okay, so I found out from being in Atlanta, because I still go back
Okay.
to Chicago to film, but in Atlanta, this happened to me 3 times with 2 women and 1 man. They had to quit on me because their spouse was upset they was getting too popular on Instagram and Facebook.
Really?
But that means I was doing my job. Yes, they came to me and said, Miss April, I'm getting a lot of flack from my spouse, men and women.
Wow.
And they said,
Wow.
I said, well, did you ever tell them you were interested in acting? Yeah, I did, but the children were too young. So now that they're older, I can do it now. But that's what happens. Sometimes we put our dreams on hold.
Right.
But that don't mean we forgot about them.
Exactly.
Oh my God, they were really good actors and actresses, and they had to quit.
Oh wow. I've had a situation happen where a woman who was married was doing a show, and her husband literally, I don't know what he said to her. He said something to her on set, and she was like, I can't do this. And
Oh wow.
she was one of the main actors, and she had to bounce. She had to go. I don't know what he said to her, but he was mad. Like he was like, and I've heard so many stories about
That's so sad.
people who get into this industry because it's acting. Well, people don't understand, like, it's acting. And I think what they see is what happens in Hollywood, where these actors get involved with these other actors on set, and then next thing you know, they having an affair and they whirl off and they marry them and leave them behind with the kid. Like, that's not the real world, people. I mean, it happens, but it don't happen like that. It's a lot to this.
Right. You gotta, you need some counseling, some therapy at that point, because you gotta let your spouse fulfill their dream. They're gonna be less than who they are if you don't let them become who they want to be.
Exactly.
And just be supportive and then be secure. You gotta just make sure they're not bored. Oh
no. Who is your biggest support system now? Because I know you said, your friends didn't, that you had didn't support you. Who is your biggest support system now?
I would say my oldest daughter.
Okay.
Because she's 28, and I did the typical parent thing. I would always sign her up for whatever classes and anything I think she could excel in, but she didn't really want to do it. I signed her up for dance. She was good with that. I signed her up for acting at the same school I went to. Signed up for acting. She didn't really want to do that. She can remember 2 pages of lines in 10 minutes.
She got a talent. Got a talent.
I do that. But she'll buy me gifts of a camera or lighting or any type of equipment. And she's part of my focus group too. So I think my biggest support is my daughter. Her name is Tuesday Martin. And Tuesday is my favorite day. April, she Tuesday. That makes sense, right?
Right. Okay.
So yeah, she's my main supporter, and she's become an entertainer on her own. Because she got so much talent. You know how you want your children to just put out their God-given talent. She's doing her own thing on TikTok. Right. And she got about 10,000 followers, and she wants to start her own business. Well, she sells a lot of different things spiritually, like chakra bracelets and chakra trees and stones and crystals. I'm like, okay, just do what makes you happy. But anytime an actress don't show up, I beg her to do the scene. Right. I beg her, and she will do it. With me begging.
But acting is, but she has the talent, but just don't want to. Yeah.
She's acting on TikTok. It's lip syncing, but she got expressions on her face. She's moving around. Right. It's some great actors on TikTok. Oh yeah. That's what they're doing, kind of, when you think about it.
And that's part of acting, facial expression, hand movement. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But she don't want to do it. So at least I know she's there when I need her.
Now, how hard was it for you to put a film team together to do, the camera guy, the sound, or are you doing all that yourself?
Team? What is this team you talk of? Team.
So you're doing it all yourself?
Oh my God! I tried to get students when I got here. I tried when I go back to Chicago. Either I get so much bureaucracy, call this person, email your website, email this and that, and fill out this form. That's fine. I'll do whatever. But you need to respond to me. These schools have not responded. And then in Chicago, they're so slow to respond. It's either somebody will come late or not at all. So my cast has to do a scene twice. So I could take it at this angle, and then I could take it at that angle. And they don't ever mind doing a scene twice. I'm so blessed for that. They never mind. And on all these 4 years of doing it, they will do the scene twice.
Oh wow! So you literally are doing the filming, the writing, like you doing the entire production on your own.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Help me, Wardell.
that's
Wait. I do have help as of August of last year. I have a co-writer.
okay.
Guess where he's at?
Where?
You can't guess. He's in Lagos, Nigeria, helping me write the
What?
series.
Really?
Yes. And his name is Silas Mickey, and he's in Lagos, Nigeria. He just came to me and was like, we've been friends for like 3 years on Facebook. One day he came, he's like, well, if you ever need any help, I'm a Nollywood filmmaker and I act. I said, well, you can't do any acting for me in Nigeria, but
Right.
don't say anything. You know what I mean? If you want to offer some help, you better mean it,
Right.
right?
Right.
So I'm
Right.
like, can you write? Can you write for me, or can you help me write? He's like, oh, okay. And he's great. He's so good. Oh God, he's so good.
Wow. So he understood the concept and everything and fell right in line with what you were trying to do.
He absolutely did, and he understood English and verbiage from
Right.
like Black people here.
Right.
He understand the verbiage. It's a little different, but some of the words that he say fit, and I just keep it. The majority of the scripts he do are great. I don't have
Right.
to say no, no, no. This is not right, and do this over. I don't have to say any of that. Oh, that's a blessing. And I just
Yes.
got that help last year.
And it's hard because it is hard to build a team, put a team together, get people together who you trust, who want to go through this whole, thing with you. It's hard to find a team that believes in you and believe in what you're trying to do. So, but I believe in time when people start seeing what you got going on, God will just open them doors up for them to just fall into place. That's usually how it works.
I keep
You just have
praying.
to, yeah, you just have to stay persistent. It happens.
Let me ask you something, Wardell, because something happened to me not too long ago. It's kind of weird. Has anybody ever tried to work with you and did something to get your attention? You know how one woman put a billboard out to Tyler Perry
Right,
for him to cast her or audition
right.
her. It didn't work. But has anybody ever did anything like that to get your attention to try to work with you?
Well, they've done that on social media,
Oh,
but yeah, they've done that on social media. That's about it. Nothing too outlandish, I would say.
okay. Well, you see this painting?
Okay.
A man painted this on Facebook. He went through my photos. He chose a picture, painted it, and sent the picture of it to my inbox and was like, I really need some exposure, but I can't afford it. And I did this for you. I was
Wow.
like, oh my God, he's a really good painter, right?
Right.
So I started promoting him and he mailed it to my house.
Really?
I think that was really very creative. He took it upon himself and he said he wanted to, have something of his on TV and he wanted some type of, exposure.
Okay.
I think sometimes you just got to be creative. And I was flattered. Who wouldn't be flattered? It was, a little weird at first,
Right.
but
Right.
hey, he got free exposure, so what the heck?
That's pretty dope. I mean, I haven't had the people draw a picture of me, but that's on a whole nother level. But I've had people do other things, like I had people offer me stuff to go here and like free restaurant meals and free
Oh
this and
wow.
all kind of stuff like that. Now I've been offering stuff like that to get my attention, but that's
Oh,
about
okay. I need some of that. I like to eat.
it. Yeah, that was it. I ate good too. But
I know that's right.
sometimes you gotta take it how you get it, man. But then you get some of those people that are just relentless, like trying to reach out to you till it gets kind of annoying, and they
Yeah,
don't understand that they're being annoying. You know, in this business, you have to do things a certain kind of way. You know, if you got something you want to offer it and just leave it. You
right.
know, and that's it. You know, you don't have to keep bombarding. I had a woman that called me one time and wanted me to look at this video she did. And she was posed as a witch that was supposed to be trying to help kids, a vampire or a witch or something. And then she's trying to teach kids at the same time. And I'm sitting there like, this is so creepy. Like, you know,
That does
and
sound
so
creepy.
but she was so dead set on me watching it and critiquing it for her. And I saw it, and I said, I can't. I'm not even gonna tell her how bad this is. It was just horrible. It was
Wow.
horrible. So I would not respond to her, and she kept coming, and then finally I said, fine. I said, you really want my opinion? She said, yeah. I gave it to her. Told her exactly how I felt about it, the whole thing. I was honest.
Oh my
You know,
God.
I wasn't brutally honest, but I was honest. And do you know, she said, I can't believe you. This is for kids. You don't know what you're talking about, and blocked me and everything.
Wow. You can't handle the truth.
Can't handle the truth. Can't handle it. And I knew that was gonna happen. I said something bad gonna happen from this. But and it's like I try my best not to be, you know, it was just so bad I couldn't even pretend like it wasn't. You know, I had nothing good to say about it. And the whole idea that she had, I'm like, where did you get this idea from? You look like you would scare the kids, not help
Yeah, that
them,
doesn't make
you
any
know.
sense to me. That sounds very weird.
It was
And
the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
people would have told her the same thing you told her. She should have took
Right,
heed so she wouldn't get her feelings hurt from the thousands of other people.
right. But she
People,
didn't
uh-uh, uh-uh.
she didn't care. She just wanted and then I thought about it and I was just like I didn't feel bad because she kept harassing me about telling her. You
You doing
know?
her a favor.
Right. So but then now I don't know what I'm talking about because I didn't say what she wanted to hear. Now I don't know what she's talking about. And I am not a person who is gonna beat around the bush, you know, because
Right.
for me in this industry, you can't have nobody like that. You know, that's why I tell people all the time, look, tell me the real, tell me the truth. Like, you know, if you don't like it, you don't like it. If you like it, you like it. I don't care what it is. Just tell me so I'll know,
You
you
can't
know,
have baby
because
feelings. You can't have
exactly.
baby feelings. You gotta just, you know, just for lack of a better term, man up and accept whatever criticism because it's going to help you grow. I've had criticism. Everything I produce is not golden. Some of the stuff that feedback I got, I was like, okay, I need to adhere to this because it's from a reputable source. But if it's
Right.
from a hater, I'm like, whatever, you just jealous.
Well, you gonna always
Sometimes
have
you got to
haters.
know the
But see,
difference.
this is the thing. I love haters. And people be like, why they be hating? Why they be hating? I'm like, man, I love haters because the thing that people need to understand about haters is that people don't hate on people that aren't doing anything. If you're not doing nothing, they have nothing to hate on. If
Right.
you're not doing something that's good, that's positive, you know, because if it's garbage, they're not gonna say nothing. They're gonna sit back and relax and let you just be garbage. But
Right.
when you're doing good things and and you getting the attention you want, and people seeing how people are starting to watch you and talk about you and stuff, now them haters gonna come along and they're gonna
Yeah.
critique everything. And I'd be like, there you go. I knew you was coming. You know, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love haters because they let me know I'm on the right track every time. They let me know.
For me, I get a lot of haters from filmmakers, independent filmmakers.
Okay.
And I think it's because I don't consider myself a filmmaker. Because my main objective is I'm an acting coach. I train everybody on Undercover Detective because I feel like I'm a promoter and I want to promote you. I want to do talent development. I want to help you with your IMDb. And they're like, well, what is an IMDb? I'm like, no, it's not
Lord.
DB. DB.
If they don't know what that is, they
So they need help, right?
Yeah.
I train everybody whatever that they need. Help them with a Facebook fan page and help them brand themselves. So I'm not a filmmaker. I don't make movies. I train people. So a lot of the filmmakers in Chicago, they don't like me. And I don't know why. Why is that? I'm not doing what they do. I'm not competition.
Right.
So
and that's why. I haters have their own reason for hating. Maybe it's the idea that you got for whatever you're doing that they wanted. Maybe it's the fact that you're a woman who's doing it on your own and they going through whatever they going through and can't seem to understand how you managed to make it work and they couldn't make it. It's a whole bunch of different things. You know what I'm saying?
I never thought of that.
Yeah, it's a whole bunch of different things. So you have to you sometimes you have to I don't even care to understand why they hate, but I do understand why they hate sometimes.
Right.
I do understand why, because and I let them I love it when I love when people talk about me and when they have something bad to say about it. It always gets back to me. And then I be like, oh, they
somebody
did. Okay.
do tell you.
Yeah. They always get back to you. And then what's funny is that same person who said whatever they said is the one that's in your DM trying to get in your stuff.
Yeah.
Now, what does we got? But anyway, we got less than 5 minutes left of the show.
I could talk to you forever. Really?
I know, right?
Minutes?
And it went by so fast. Went by fast. If you had any piece of advice that you want to give somebody, the audience who's listening or anything, what would that be?
When you seek to make a connection with someone, I suggest you professionally stalk them. Which means
that is so funny when you said it, but go ahead and explain that. I said we were gonna go back to that.
Introduce yourself by making a short little one sentence comment. Get on their Facebook or Instagram, make a comment. Always add a compliment. I don't care if people think flattery gets you nowhere. It does get you somewhere. So you make a flattering comment and then say something that you do. So that's what I did. I'm like, oh, wow, your content is amazing. And I produce blah, blah, blah. So you put that on there, make a few comments, let a few days pass. Then later on, you friend them, make a few more comments, and then you get their inbox. You got to space out the communication and always show who you are and give them a compliment. Oh, wow, you must be very busy. This is, you're doing a great job. Make sure you get some rest. I'm always somebody's mama. So make sure you get, try to get some sleep and some rest. Drink spring water. I know that may sound like a nutty thing, but I always mention something you can do to improve your health. And then I mentioned, this is what I do. Check it out whenever you have time.
Okay.
And then I'll come back to you maybe 7 or 8 more days. Right. And that's what I did.
Okay.
So,
now, if before we go, because we got less than a minute left, let people know how they can contact you.
Okay, so my website is www.OneLoveOneHouseTV with the number 1.
Okay. And what's your social media handle? Instagram, Facebook? Instagram. If you want them, can they reach you there?
Facebook is April Disco Goddess. You can also Google April Disco Goddess. You can Google One Love One House TV. If you go on Instagram, it's One Love One House TV _ AEMG TV, because that is the owner is the person I professionally stalked. I love him to death. He's my friend now. AMG TV is on XOD Network, so you can see me there. But just Google One Love One House TV and all that come up, because I don't sleep. I'm always on social media. I never.
All right then. And on that note, April, thank you for taking the time out to come on the show. I truly appreciate you. This was a great interview. You have a lot going on. I'm sure that a lot of people are going to watch the show and try to figure out how they can get in tune with you so they can be on Undercover Detective or anything like that. So,
thank you.
ladies,
thank
so everybody,
you for inviting me.
No doubt.
Can I give a shameless plug?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, one of my actresses named Reese Antoinette created shea butter for her relative that's suffering from eczema really bad. And I have some skin issues too. And I just want to say, no matter what you're doing, at whatever age doesn't matter, create and get your product or your talent out there. This is shea butter.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. That's what's up. So they can reach you for a couple things now, for a few things.
Yes.
So definitely reach out to April, if you want to be a part of her production, if you want to help out. As you see, she's doing this whole production by herself. If you got some handles, if you're a camera guy, if you
help me.
do lighting, if you do sound or anything, you know what I'm saying, hit April up. See if you can see what you can do to help her with her production. And
please help me.
She's doing it all. She's a one-man band right now. So, reach out to her. And April, once again, thank you for coming on. This is Wardell Richardson on WCEG Wood, Hollywood of the South, my first show of the year. Let's start off great and let's keep it rolling. I'll holler at you later.
Thank you. WCEG.